Coming to next lecture. In previous lecture we have seen klystron tubes, two different types of klystron tubes. One is one is two cavity klystron and another one is multi cavity klystron. We have seen microwave tubes, right? In previous lecture we have seen microwave tubes. Under that microwave tubes we have seen klystron tubes. Under klystron tubes we have amplifiers as well as oscillators, right? Under amplifier section we have seen two different types of amplifiers. One is two cavity klystron, which is an amplifier which is used for amplification of RF signal, and next we have seen multi cavity klystron which contains four cavities. In order to increase the efficiency we are going for multi cavity over two cavity klystron, right? And those two are amplifiers which are used for amplification of RF signal, right? Now coming to oscillator. Under klystron tube, next category is your oscillator. Now that we define it as reflex klystron. Reflex klystron is an oscillator, right, which will generate a signal, right? Now coming to this reflex klystron, which is an oscillator, right? Next category of klystron tube, that is reflex klystron, which is an oscillator, right? Now here let us see how the signal is generated using this structure, right? Now this is the structure of your reflex klystron, right? And this contains electron gun. Now this is your electron gun. Now internally it contains heater and cathode. This electron gun, any electron gun, internally it contains heater and cathode, right? Now heater, if there is any dissipation, in order to overcome that we are using heater over there. And similarly we will have a cathode internally inside your electron gun, right? Now that is connected to positive terminal of battery, right? And this electron gun, what it will do, it will generate beam of electrons, right? Continuous beam of electrons are generated from your electron gun, right? Now here it contains only one cavity. If you compare your two cavity klystron structure with your reflex klystron, there it contains two cavities. One is, we call it as input cavity, and another one is your output cavity. Under two cavity klystron you will have two cavities. One is defined as input cavity, through which you are giving the input signal, and another one is output cavity, through which you are connecting the amplified signal. But here it contains only one cavity. If you see this reflex klystron structure, it contains only one cavity, that we call it as anode cavity. Since we are collecting the signal through this particular cavity, that is called as anode cavity. Through this cavity we are collecting the signal, that is defined as RF output, right? Through this cavity we are collecting the signal that is generated within this structure, right? And here you will have this cavity is connected to the coaxial loop, through which you are collecting the signal, right? Now this we call it as Rippler electrode. Rippler electrode, it contains Rippler electrode, right? And that is connected to negative terminal of battery. Now VR indicates Rippler voltage. VR indicates Rippler voltage, and VA indicates voltage at anode cavity, that nothing but anode voltage, right? Now electron gun is connected to positive terminal of VR, and Rippler electrode is connected to negative terminal of VR, right? Now similarly it is connected to anode cavity voltage, that is defined as VA, that is connected to negative terminal, and this is connected to positive terminal, right? Now this is about the structure. Now let us see how the signal is generated and collected through your RF output. Initially we have to form electron bunch, right? Now whatever the electrons that are generating from the electron gun, those has to be form a bunch, right? Now after bunching you can generate the signal, right? Now let us see how the bunch of electrons is formed in this particular reflex klystron structure, right? Now electron gun, what it will do, it will generate beam of electron. Continuous beam of electrons are generated from your electron gun. Now similarly we have considered whatever we have considered under two cavity, there also will contain electron gun, and that will generate beam of electron, right? And here also you will contain electron gun, and this will also generate beam of electron, right? Now among that beam of electron, now let us consider three electron. One is early electron, that is denoted by EE, and another one is reference electron, that is denoted by ER, and another one is late electron, that is denoted by EL, right? Now among that bunch of electron, right, among that bunch of electron, now electron gun internally it contains heater and cathode. Now that is connected to negative terminal of Va. Now what it will do, it will generate beam of electron, right? Now among that beam of electron, now let us consider 3 electron. The first most generated electron from the electron gun, that we call it as early electron, and Er indicates reference electron, and El indicates the last electron that is generated from the electron gun, right? Now among that beam of electron, these 3 are the electron that we are considering, right? Now I am representing here Ee, first generated electron, followed by Er, followed by El, right? Now what happens here is some will go through anode cavity, right? This bunch of electron travel along this tube, right? Now some will go to anode cavity and some will go to Rippler space. The space between anode cavity and Rippler electrode, we call it as Rippler space. Whatever the space of the tube, right? Whatever the space of the tube that is present in between the anode cavity and the Rippler electrode, that is defined as Rippler space, right? Now this bunch of electrons, some will go to anode cavity and some will go along this Rippler space, right? Now Rippler electrode is connected to negative terminal of battery. Now whatever the electron that are traveling in the Rippler space, now those will experience repulsive force, right? Whatever the electron, right? Whatever the electron that are traveling in this Rippler space, now that will experience repulsive force. Now because of that repulsive force, now what happens to its velocity? Decreases, right? The maximum repulsive force is experienced by early electron, because the first electron which is traveling through the Rippler space, that will experience maximum repulsive force, right? That will experience maximum repulsive force. Now hence the velocity of early electron, hence the velocity of early electron decreases. Hence the velocity of early electron decreases because of experiencing of repulsive force, right? Now the next electron is your reference electron. Now again it will also experience repulsive force, and the velocity of reference electron also decreases, right? And the velocity of reference electron is also decreases, right? Now coming to late electron, like the maximum repulsive force, that is the last electron, is nothing but your El, right? Now that will experience minimum repulsive force, and this will bounce whatever the electrons that are traveling in this particular traveling tube, that is particular vacuum tube. Now because of this repulsive force, they will get bounce back at this anode cavity. They will get bounce, right? Because of this repulsive force, its velocity decreases. Now the velocity of early electron is less than velocity of reference electron, which is less than velocity of late electron, right? Now these electron will get bounce back to the anode cavity, and they will, because of this velocity variation in the velocity, they will form a bunch and collected through this RF output, right? Now this is about how the signal is generated under your reflex klystron, right? Now let me briefly explain again, right? Now this is the structure of your reflex klystron, which contains electron gun. Internally it contains cathode followed by heater, right? Now that is connected to negative terminal of battery, that is Va indicates anode voltage and Vr indicates Rippler voltage, right? Now this is connected to positive terminal, is connected to anode cavity, right? Now this is the anode cavity and this is the Rippler electrode that is present in the reflex klystron. Now that is connected to negative terminal of Vr, right? Now the space between anode cavity and the Rippler electrode is defined as Rippler space. Now what happens here is, now electron gun will generate beam of electrons, right? Since it is connected to negative terminal of battery, it will generate beam of electron, right? Now among that beam of electron, now let us consider 3 electron. The first most generated electron from the electron gun, that is call it as early electron, followed by reference electron, and the last electron generated from the electron gun, that is defined as late electron. Now among that beam of electron, now we are considering 3 electrons: early electron, reference electron and late electron, right? Now this beam of electron travel along this vacuum tube, right? Now some will go to anode cavity and some will pass through this Rippler space, right? Some will go to anode cavity and some will pass through Rippler space, right? Now the electron that are traveling in the Rippler space, will experience repulsive force, right? Whatever the electron that are traveling in this Rippler space, nothing but the space between anode cavity and Rippler electrode, will experience repulsive force because it is connected to negative terminal of Vr, right? Now because of this experiencing of the repulsive force, the velocity of early electron is less than the velocity of reference electron, which is less than the velocity of late electron. Now all the electrons that are traveling in the Rippler space, they will get bounced because of this repulsion. They will get bounced back to the anode cavity and collected as a bunch. Whatever the electron that are traveling in the Rippler space, right, because of this repulsion, they will get bounced back to the anode cavity and collected as a electron bunch, right? Because there is a variation in the velocity of this electron. That's why they will get bounced. Because of that variation in the velocity, they will get bounced back to the anode cavity and they are collected as a bunch, and through this RF output we are collecting the signal, right? Now this is about the operation of the reflex klystron. Now here also it works on the principle of velocity modulation. Now what is mean by velocity modulation? As I have said, under two cavity klystron, that will also work on the principle of velocity modulation. Now variation in the velocity of the electrons because of the input applied voltage. See, if you see this early electron, reference electron, there is a variation in this particular velocity of this electron because of this voltage, that we call it as velocity modulation. Velocity modulation is nothing but variation in the velocity of the electrons because of the applied input voltage, right? Now this is about the construction and the operation of the reflex klystron. Now let us briefly describe this applicate diagram, right? That applicate diagram will briefly describe the reflex klystron, right? Now this is about the construction and operation. Next we will see applicate diagram, right? Now this applicate diagram, that will define the total operation of the reflex klystron, right? Now this is your Rippler space, right? The space between the anode cavity and your Rippler electrode, that we call it as Rippler space, right? Now early electron, late electron and reference electron, right? Early electron, late electron and reference electron. Now these three electron will get bounced back to the anode cavity. They will form as the electron bunch, right? Now the velocity, because of this repulsive force, velocity of early electron is less than velocity of reference electron, which is less than velocity of late electron, right? Now the time taken to form the electron bunch, right? Now the time taken to form the electron bunch is given by Tr. The time taken to form the electron bunch, that is given by T of n plus 3 by 4, where n is varying from 1, 2, 3, so on, right? Where n is varying from 1, 2, 3. If you observe this figure, right? Now the reference electron and the time taken to form electron bunch, the total one cycle plus 3/4 of another cycle. Now here the time taken to form electron bunch is T of 1 plus 3 by 4, right? The time taken to form the electron bunch, here it is n equals to 1, right? Now here the time taken to form the electron bunch is 1/3 of t, right? 1/3 of t. Now this n may be 2 or it may be 3 or it may be 4, right? Now this n may be 2 or it may be 3, it may be 4. Now as Rippler voltage, VR indicates Rippler voltage, don't get confused. As the Rippler voltage increases, now what happens to Tr? Decreases. As the Rippler voltage increases, the Tr decreases. Now the power, output power, whatever the output power that you are collecting through the RF output will get increased, right? Will get increased, right? Now as we increase the Rippler voltage, the time taken to form electron bunch decreases and the output power increases, because power is nothing but it is directly proportional to V, right? It is directly proportional to V. As you are increasing the Rippler voltage at your Rippler electrode, the output power you will get more, but the time taken to form electron bunch will decrease, right? The time taken to form electron bunch will decrease. Most probably for the maximum output power you will get for n equals to 2 or n equals to 3, right? For n equals to 2 or n equals to 3, you will get the maximum output power for this particular reflex klystron, right? Now this is about the applicate diagram. Now these three electron, because of this variation in the velocity, of this electron because they are experiencing repulsive force. Now they will form the electron bunch, right? And the time taken to form electron bunch is given by T of n plus 3 by 4. Now n is varying from 1 to 3, so on, right? Now for n equals to 2 or n equals to 3, we'll get the maximum output power, right? You will get the maximum output power. Now how you will get maximum output power, that I will see in the after this, right? Now as you increase the Rippler voltage, now what happens here is the time taken to form electron bunch decreases and the output power P is directly proportional to V. Now the output power increases, right? Now this is about the obligate diagram. Now let us see its characteristics. This characteristic is your experiment under lab, right? You have to find out voltage characteristics of your reflex klystron, nothing but your Rippler characteristics also you will call. This is one of your experiment under your lab, right? Now coming to characteristics, right? Now this is about the voltage characteristics, right? Now if I plot a graph between your anode voltage at your anode cavity and voltage at your Rippler electron, right? And here it is your electron bunch, right? N equals to 1, n equals to 2, n equals to 3, n equals to 4, n equals to 5, right? If you see this figure, where you are getting the maximum output power for n equals to 2 and n equals to 3. Maximum for n equals to 3, you will get the maximum output power. In some cases you will go for n equals to 2, right? If I plot the graph between VA and VR, right, you will get the characteristics like this, right? Now coming to another voltage characteristics. Now this graph you will come across your lab, right? Now this is output power and VR, right? Output power and Rippler voltage, right? Now for n equals to 1 and for n equals to 3, you are getting maximum output power, right? That's why you will, since this is the graph that you are plotting after doing the experiment, maximum output power you can observe for n equals to 3. In some cases you will consider n equals to 2, right? Now frequency in gigahertz versus VR, if I plot the graph you will get like this, and output power in megawatts versus VR. VR indicates Rippler voltage, right? As we increase the Rippler voltage, the output power increases and the time taken to form electron bunch decreases. That is, as we increase VR, what happens? TR decreases and output power increases, right? Output, this concept you have to remember. Based on this concept only you will get this figure, right? Now under your lab you have to plot the graph this, right? You have to increase, you have to vary the VR, right? As we are varying the VR, you will get the variation in the power. That graph is this thing. And frequency in gigahertz, as we increase the VR, frequency also varies, right? Now this is the graph for your particular reflex klystron, right? Now the reflex klystron is your oscillator, right? We are not giving any input signal. You are not giving any input signal. You are directly collecting the electron bunch that will generate the RF signal, right? Now this is about the klystron tubes. Till now we have seen two cavity klystron, multi cavity klystron. Those are your amplifiers. There you will give RF input signal which is to be amplified, and the output is collected as electron bunch that will generate the amplified signal, right? Now under reflex klystron we are not giving any input signal, right? We are not giving any input signal. Directly we are generating the electron bunch, right, through which you can generate the signal. Two cavity and multi cavity are amplifiers and reflex klystron is oscillator, right? Now here ends the topic of klystron tubes. In next lecture we will see about traveling wave tube, right? Traveling wave tube, which is also an amplifier, right?